I thank the Honourable Minister for her non-answer, Mr. Speaker. I can only infer the NDP agrees with Environment Canada that you need a $300 tax in order to achieve Paris commitments. On a different matter, Mr. Speaker, people in Northern Alberta are deeply concerned about a threat to the forestry industry and many other job-creating industries as a result of the government's plans with respect to caribou range plans, which could potentially take as much as half of the land of Northern Alberta out of economic use. So I'd like to ask the government if it will commit to a full social economic assessment prior to proceeding with any caribou range plan.
The Honourable Premier.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The fact of the matter is we have held numerous stakeholder meetings, members of our cabinet as well as members of our caucus with people who we are hearing very clearly are concerned about the caribou plan. That's why we put it out for consultation. And I'm sure the member opposite will be happy to know that just today a letter was sent to the federal government wherein we indicated that we would not be moving forward on the strategy until there was a full socio-economic study and until we were able to work out a plan with the federal government where they would join with us in helping mitigate any problems that would arise.
Thank you, Honourable Premier. First supplemental.
I thank the Premier very much for that answer and that commitment, Mr. Speaker. Can she further commit that the government will make an estimate of the impact on jobs in the Alberta economy as the result of any potential range plan?
The Honourable Premier.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it kind of goes without saying that that is part of the socio-economic assessment that the ministers have indicated to the federal government that we want to see completed. So that's exactly the kind of work that we will do, and we will also work with the federal government to have them come alongside us in terms of looking at the ways, the support that would be needed to ameliorate any changes that would occur. So that's the information that was sent by our ministers to the federal government today.
Seconds.
Mr. Speaker, people in central Alberta share some of these concerns. Can the Premier commit that land will not be removed from economic use in central Alberta and the West Country without a full social and economic consultation and study?
The Honourable Minister, Environment and Parks.
Mr. Speaker, and yes, this morning the Minister of Energy and I did write a letter to the federal government indicating we were suspending some aspects of caribou range planning pending the socio-economic analysis that the Premier spoke of earlier. What I will say, Mr. Speaker, is the Species at Risk Act, the Federal Species at Risk Act, is an extremely inflexible instrument, Mr. Speaker, that has already had negative economic consequences in the southeast. As you well know, Mr. Speaker, for the sage-grouse, it is unfortunate that while the honourable member opposite was in government, that he did not stand up for Alberta and get that act changed. But we are going to do our best to make sure that we project jobs on this.